I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me. Girl, you just don't realize what you do to me. When you held me in your arms so tight, you let me know everything's alright. I got another haircut. What's good, people? Agent Jules reporting for duty. It is time once again to dive into the indie scene. And this time we're not talking about animation per se, but we are talking about a comic. And by comic, I mean manga of some sorts, kinda. Today's subject, we are going to be talking about the Golden Smurf's indie manga. I'm calling it a manga because it's styled like one. Indie manga, Ramia Yana, Hero in Demon Lord Chronicles. Yes, quite a mouthful that title is. So, without further ado, let us buckle into our favorite crazy fantasy. Let us put on a helmet and a furry cape. Let us walk around at a solid 4'9", or I think less than that. Let's use our super strength and our super assets to smash that like button like we smash demons. And let's go ahead and talk about this new phenomenon. Alrighty, so, as I usually do in this, first we talk about the Speedpaint. Today's subject is going to be about the titular character, Ramia. Emphasis on a certain part of the word titular. There's going to be a lot of those jokes in this video, so bear with me. Anyway, I decided to go ahead and draw her doing a classic pinup girl pose, because that's just Ramia's character. Her whole shtick is that she has been doing this demon slaying thing for so long, and she is so, like, hilariously One Punch Man level powerful that as of right now, everything she faces in the comic is kind of a joke. So she has this very, fun, cheeky demeanor about her. She doesn't really take anything seriously because there's nothing serious to take in the world that she's in so far. So I decided, what better way to honor our glorious muscular short stack than by drawing her in a pinup pose. I will note, by the way, that the art style of this comic is so far beyond my own style that it was very difficult doing justice to the character design, so that was kind of a hurdle I had to overcome. So this is the best that I can crank out, so you're just gonna have to deal with it. So, as of right now, the story of Ramia Yana starts in a quaint little village where we have this old lady, Granny Gertrude, telling a story about heroes and demons, and she is accompanied by I believe her grandson Kusa, who has dreams of becoming a hero, woohoo, and then you got the, the stodgy guard Alexander, who comes across this mysterious stranger one day who visits and knows Granny Gertrude, and they have rapport and whatnot. And as the story continues, we learn that this mysterious stranger is our titular character, Ramia, and there's been a kidnapping of poor maidens in the village, which is why Granny Gertrude called Ramia in the first place. So Ramia shows up in her usual jokey demeanor, goes out, completely spanks the absolute poop out of these demons, rescues the maiden, who one of them happens to be Alexander's sister, and it all culminates to Alexander and her sister wanting to learn how to be heroes and requesting tutelage from Ramia. And she says, well, I got other things to do, so let me use freaky deaky magic and clone myself because I can do that. It's kind of well established that there's a lot about Ramia, a lot more about Ramia than meets the eye. Like, right out of the gate, we see that there's a panel where she's spanking these demons, and she stomps her foot so hard, it causes, like, countrywide fissures. So we're already dealing with, okay, this is basically like a world breaker, and she's dealing with, like, piddly little threats. So, of course, the first good chunk of this story, I imagine, is just going to be, like I said, it's a very One Punch Man, where, instead of Saitama in One Punch Man being like, oh, I'm so bored because I'm not a hero, Ramia at least tries to have fun with it. She likes to make, fun quips. She takes, like I said, nothing seriously because there's nothing to be taken seriously currently. And it's kind of fun. And this, as of right now, this story is very young in that there's not very many chapters. As of recording this video, there's only one complete chapter and like the beginning of a chapter 2. And in the beginning of chapter 2, you see a lot of like foreshadowing where, you know, you're going to see all kinds of super ultra crazy demons. And like, I think that's going to be the threat level that Ramia will actually have to take seriously. And yeah, it's very, very intriguing. I am titillated. There's that word again. Another interesting thing about this story is that Ramia has a very close connection with Granny Gertrude and the mayor of the town and Kusa, the young boy, because she is their direct ancestor. In fact, the Golden Smurf, TGSMURF, he has graced us with a family tree that shows Ramia is like the great-great-great-grandmother of Granny Gertrude, and thus that much more great-grandmother to Kusa. And so the whole thing we're seeing here is a big part of the mystery is going to be Ramia's connection, her familial heritage of being a great hero who, and I think another big shtick about this is that there's a great holy sword. So, you know, one of the questions immediately raised is, why is Ramia so old? You know, she's clearly immortal. She's clearly some kind of immortal. Was she born an immortal? Does she have, like, godly or demonic lineage? Was she once a mortal who ascended to godhood? Or was it bestowed upon her by a mysterious entity? Or was it earned because she, you know, accomplished a great feat? You know, we are kind of, you know, like I said, we're at the beginning of the story. So this whole story has nothing but potential. So I am singing the praises of this work, and the reason why I'm so gung-ho about it is, first of all, I have to say that I have a bias. I always have, and I probably always will have a bias towards indie projects, because, you know, these people aren't funded. TGSMURF, the Golden Smurf, whatever his username is, Smurf Arts, I think he is on YouTube. You can actually look up his gear in the description box down below. You know, he's doing this, you know, by himself, basically. I don't know if he has other artists helping him, but this is his project. He's not backed by anybody. He doesn't have any big funding. He probably has, you know, like donor backing or whatever, but the point is that it's homegrown. The second thing why I'm singing this thing's praises is because the art, I mean, holy hell. Smurfy Boy here is on a completely different level with his art. It is like Berserk level artwork. And you can kind of tell there's a lot of Berserk inspiration in Ramia. You know, she's this, the artwork is very like hard and hyper detailed and very sharp lines and sharp blacks and whites and the shading and whatnot. But on top of that, or not but and on top of that, I should say, on top of that, the character design, the monster design is completely bonkers. It's amazing. It's very immediately visually captivating. And kind of using the comparison to Berserk, Berserk was also the same way. And so I think that is one of the reasons why this work, I'm paying attention to it, because I believe it's going to be this massive phenomenon once it starts gaining a lot of traction. So I'm very excited to see it. And finally, the thing I also have to admit, it's kind of a bias thing, is this work is at the beginning. It has nothing but potential. Okay, so we can kind of dream and pie in the sky and hype it up and everything. And for all we know, it could end up sucking in the end, but I'm not gonna poo-poo on Smurfy Boy here too soon, because that's unfair. You know, let the dude write. I'm just gonna let the dude write and let him do his thing. So, to kind of transition into the end of this little presentation, what I like to do, especially when it comes to indie creators, is they usually have a higher likelihood of actually seeing this video than establishment elites. So, TGSMURF, Golden Smurf, whatever you go by, if you happen to be watching this video, I am thoroughly impressed by your art skill, first and foremost. It is leagues beyond me. It is leagues beyond a lot of people I follow. It is top tier art. The character designs are amazing. I really like the characterizations of Ramia. I'm already digging, you know, her cheeky demeanor. Emphasis on cheeky, more than ways than one. I really hope that you find great success in this work. I really do believe it's going to be the next big thing. But most importantly, I hope that you pace yourself when you make this. I don't want you to end up like our poor dear sweet Kentaro Miura from Berserk. You know, that is an unfortunate tragedy that, you know, many believe was led by overwork. And so, as great as this thing is, and this is kind of like to any artist, don't overdo yourself in order to accomplish something. If you need to wait to make this insane level artwork, do so. If you have to hire more people, then hopefully you can get donors and backers or whatever, and this becomes a big successful project. Point is, I hope to see this to completion, and I look forward to following along and seeing what could be done and whatever future awaits the project, whether or not it stays in comic form or could possibly even become an animation. That would be interesting, seeing it on the small or even big screen. Anyway, I think I'll go ahead and wrap it up there for today, so you people know what to do here. If you like what you see and you want to see more, go ahead and tickle those sacred buttons. Go ahead and comment and share so I can hear what you have to say, and then you can broadcast what you and I have to say together onto the interbus for all to see. I do want to give a reminder that I do have Patreon and Subscribestar, where you're going to see the full long version of the Speedpaint as well as the monthly exclusive videos that I do. And there's going to be one coming up here next week, so if you want to stay tuned to that, definitely hit up either Patreon or Subscribestar. And of course, if you wish to follow me elsewhere on the interbuts, you can always follow my links I always put up here on the screen. And I always do the emphasis on Minds.com because it's the alternative site. It's the indie creator to the establishment elite, if you will. And a really quick shout out, of course, TGSMURF'S gear. You can go ahead and follow him. I have his YouTube linked down below. I have the full comic linked down below. Definitely check it out. And yeah, with all that said, I thank you for spending this time with me. I do hope you all stick around. And until next time, Demon Slayers, deuces.